Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about walking through homeschool. Hi, I'm Tasha. This is Tasha Pivots, where I talk all about mamahood and homeschool and this entire journey that I'm pivoting through. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you want to know more about homeschool, mamahood, what we're doing, how I'm navigating through this life and this journey, and you want to be a part of it, hit that red subscribe button. I'd love for you to be a part of the fam. Today I wanted to really just kind of do a touch base, a little check-in with you guys of just walking through this journey of homeschool. I believe that homeschool is not just a timestamp of a certain amount of years, but I believe that it really is just our lifestyle. It's a home educating space and environment for my children, and I have a second grader and I have a toddler. And so I am really learning and growing through this. As you know, when I started homeschool my first year with my oldest, my youngest was more of a baby. She was about 1.5, and so I had a little bit of like more nap times. I had feedings to do, and so now she's a vibrant, she's awake, she's a part of the day to day. And so I just wanted to like have like a little chit chat with y'all where we kind of just talk about it. Like, how are you doing? If you are new to this journey, please put it in the comments below. How are you doing? Are you stressed? Are you overwhelmed? What is it that you feel God has really pulled out of you and poured into you in this season? I feel like, to answer that question, just to give some framework, I feel like what's being pulled out of me is patience and grace for myself. It is also pulling out of me to be present and not just be so wrapped up in trying to make sure I'm getting all of the curriculum done or all of our projects done, but really just taking it moment by moment and being intentional with every little detail when it comes to just being face to face with my kids, looking at what they're growing and learning, and I'm learning and growing. And so I'm really enjoying that. What is being poured back into me is part of that. And also this sweet, it's kind of hard to put it together, but it's like this sweet moment of almost like seeing myself in my kids as if when I was them. I feel like there's this part of me that I didn't really have like a full I didn't know how to be a child. I was an only child, so I was always around adults, and I had cousins and stuff, but overall I was always like very old soul, very, you know, adult mindset, in a sense that I didn't get to like just play and imagine and just explore. And so I'm really enjoying the way God is just pouring into me and allowing me to kind of just play and have fun with my kids and not have the weight of the world or the weight of my world of details and you know, boxes to check and errands to run overwhelm me. I do feel like I've been in that season. I feel like, you know, September was kind of like a roller coaster for me. It was like highs and lows. It was, you know, waiting for a certain curriculum to come in because I had kind of mapped my whole life around that, to God just saying, slow down and just, you know, take it all in as where you are. And so I'm really enjoying that with my girls. I'm enjoying to see how I put both children's learning capabilities together, and sometimes just getting to sit back and watch them communicate and talk and explore together. And even though there's a 4-year gap, there is still connection happening. And so I am just being filled up. My cup is being overflown with doing that. Now, you know, I'm be transparent. Don't ever think that I'm too calm and too, you know, everything is bliss, because I don't believe that. I do believe I have times when I get frustrated. I have times when I'm dealing with a lot of emotions. I'm an emotional person. My children are emotional children. And so instead of looking at it as there being a problem, I look at it, or having a problem, I just take it as, okay, this is an area in which we're still working on. Like, one of our big areas we're working on is listening. Both my children in their own capacity are having a struggle with listening. And so I'm having to sit back and say, okay, why do they feel that when I give them instruction that they can do opposite? Or why do I feel that if I say something, I end up finding myself saying it quite a few times? Is there too much going on that they're not being able to have the connection? And so, yeah, I want to be honest, like, homeschooling is not a cakewalk. It is tough. It is going to pull out of you some things that maybe you didn't know you needed to ravel with and confront. And then there's some things that are just like bliss and joy in those small moments that, if I wasn't at home, if I wasn't able to see this, this is where joy is being fostered. And so, yeah, I just wanted to just ask y'all how you're doing. If you're struggling in any way, how can we be standing with you in this season? How can I be praying for you? You can always email me if you don't want to leave it in the comments below. My emails is in the description box. And yeah, we're working on our health this season, and we just got some testing back. We all did as a family some genetic testing, and I'm excited to just, get on the path of really healthy wellness. Like we always eat pretty well. I'll also link that video here where I talked about some of our healthy snacks and things that we do. But I have truly, even for myself, been kind of carrying on some extra weight, and emotional weight, baby weight, whatever you want to call it. But like just noticing that my body wasn't responding to food and nutrients the way it should. My children the same, my husband too. So we did some testing. We found out that, I have a gluten sensitivity. My oldest has a gluten sensitivity. My youngest has a sugar sensitivity. And so, and then my husband has a histamine sensitivity. So it's like all these little layers. So I've been doing some grocery shopping, some meal planning, and just prepping, getting our supplements and things like that. Just, really taking care of ourselves. Because even though this is the season where is one of my favorites, where we get to gather with family and we get to just eat and vegetate and all the things, I also really want to be active and be physically active, but also active in what I'm eating and taking and those things. So I noticed that my homeschooling journey doesn't just encompass the education of our basic subjects, but it also just teaching my children about how food is medicine, and drinking their water and getting active and going outside and getting some fresh air and fresh sun, and really being appreciative of all the aspects that we get to have being on this earth and even where we live. And so that has been just like my heart. Had to dial back a little bit and say, take a pause and don't get so wrapped into your task, because I am very much task oriented to some degree. Like, I like to make my list. I like to have a schedule. And even though I just aired last week that planning video, as much as I love that, it is just a framework, but my whole life is not dictated upon it. So I love that I've learned to just take a pause, take a beat, But yeah, what are you looking forward to in this month of October? What are you challenging yourself and maybe your family to do? And share that with me. I'd love to hear more. And that's it. That's pretty much what's been happening here in the Tasha Pivots world of homeschooling, just walking through this, enjoying the journey, recognizing that there's going to be highs and lows. And sometimes those lows feel like they're outweighing the highs. But when you take a full step back, you recognize that it's not. And yeah, so I appreciate you. I appreciate you listening, watching, subscribing. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And I hope to see you on the next video. You have a wonderful day. Bye.